Musicians in Singapore are a very small community. One cannot help but know what is happening with fellow musicians. This is especially so for our senior musicians who today come together to pay tribute to the late Mr. Jimmy Chan, a very well-respected musician. This is my first concert in many years. I was very privileged to be seated with the band known as the Silver Strings.
I know Jimmy very long time ago, maybe about 50 years ago, okay? When he was a musician, so am I. Later on, we become business associate. 2019, I invited him to play for my 55th anniversary concert, which I organized for my band, Silver Strings. Makes me closer to him.
Jimmy is such an iconic Singapore musician, and I have the pleasure of meeting him a few years ago. And as over the last few years, we have developed a very personal relationship. I visit him quite regularly. I have great respect for the man. He's such a brilliant musician, but yet he remains humble all these years. And I respect musicians who are like that, yeah.
For local Singaporeans, English music is just a dying trade.
Insofar as the music scene in Singapore is concerned, I think we have gone backward. My view is that in the 60s and even in the 70s, the music scene here was very, very much more vibrant, and there were very much better opportunities for musicians. But not these days. That is my personal view. Music as a profession in Singapore is what we call a cul-de-sac. That means it's a dead-end street.
Our time is much easier, partly we're young, okay? And we got a lot of followers, and they are really crazy and not much club. Our parents are actually against the idea of we being a musicians. They always say music first, study first, music last, okay? And again, I told you, music is not even recognized as an occupation. If you're an accountant or a doctor, they are so proud. Your parents will be so proud of you. But if your parents say, oh, my son is a band boy, we call ourselves band boy at that time, they feel so shy. And actually, frankly, we study music, we are just as good a profession, but it's not recognized. I feel that those days musicians, they hardly can earn enough just for themselves, because after 3 months contract, they start looking for a job again. Then not only that, the band must just break up because there's no job.
Opportunities for musicians have always been rather limited. But I must say that in the 60s and in the 70s, there were bands that were very well paid. For instance, Matthew and the Mandarins. They were one of the best paid bands in Singapore. But of course, they are the exception rather than the rule. And today is even worse. A lot of music establishments have closed. Closing that completely cut off the income for musicians.
I told Jimmy, one day we met and he says that, Audie, we have to go. Just like you, if you have to go to the toilet, you just have to go, you know?
Jimmy had a fall at home, and he sent me a message to tell me about it. And I wanted to visit him in the hospital, but he said, no need to visit. He said, most of the time I'm asleep anyway, so he didn't want me to visit him. But I sent him messages all the time, telling him that my thoughts and my prayers are with him, and that God will take care of everything.
The music scene has indeed changed in the past decades, but the passion and commitment remain as constant. It is an art to be able to touch people's lives with music. Music brings people together. We have witnessed exactly that in tonight's tribute. Life is short. We all should put some music into our lives. I'm Sidney Joe Carson for Singapore One.